Okay guys, we're back at it again today with another episode of Libby Picks My TBR. In this video, we are going to go to the Libby skip the line option and pick a book, which I have already picked the first book that we're reading. I don't know what is going on lately this week, but there's just so many books available for skip the line. Like every time I open it, there's like 10 plus, but we've already picked book one, so let's roll that footage. Guys, I've not filmed the intro to this yet, but I just clicked on Libby and I saw that there's 12 titles available for skip the line. So I figured we would start another little Libby Picks My Reads video because you guys really liked that last time. And with 12 options available, it's kind of crazy. Now, first one is a memoir for somebody I've never heard of. Then we have some nonfiction. The Society of Unknowable Objects by Gareth Brown. Not super interested in that. A Stephen King book, The Life of Chuck. I hate Stephen King, so there's that. The Haves and Have-Yachts by Evan Osnos. Never heard of that. 7 Rules of Power. Sounds like self-help. The September House. I actually just listened to that. Anxiously Attached. Seems like nonfiction. Another memoir. Ooh! The One by John Mars. I do own that, so that would be a good one to pick. Anti-Fragile, it's book 4 in a series. And Twilight, which I don't have any interest in because I think vampires are cringe. But I think we're gonna go with The One by John Mars and listen to this bad boy. I'm kind of excited. I've only read one other book by John Mars, and that was the one with a perfect family, something about a family in a house. That's not helpful at all, but I did really like it. I gave it 4 stars, so I'm excited to read another book by him. Excuse this angle, this is just what we're gonna do. I am about halfway through The One by John Mars, and I do feel this is gonna be a 2-star read for me. I'm gonna push through because it does have really good ratings, but this book kind of feels like a Black Mirror episode if you're familiar with the show Black Mirror. Basically, we are following a bunch of different people, and there has been this app that came out, and you submit your DNA and it matches you up with your DNA match. Whether you meet them or not, that's up to you. There's so many characters that's like part of my issue. We've got Nick, we have Mandy, we have Ellie, Jade, Christopher, and it is getting very confusing whose storyline is whose. But for example, there's this couple and they are engaged and they're like, let's just do it to make sure we're meant to be together. And if we're not, oh well. And so they do that, and the guy is actually, his perfect match is another man, but he's like, well, I'm not gay, so that doesn't make sense. And hers is not him either. And then there's this one guy who's actually like a serial killer and doesn't think he's capable of love, but he's matched up with somebody. And then there's this gal who matches up with this guy who's like terminally ill. Then there's another girl who matches up with this guy who just recently died. And so we're going through all of their different stories and how they're handling this new technology of finding your perfect match. And I am finding it really hard to keep straight whose story is whose. But additionally, it's just feeling very repetitive. I know Christopher is the serial killer, just because my husband's name's Christopher, that I was like, oh boy. But like his chapters, it's like these really gruesome murders, and then he goes on a date with this girl. Like every chapter of his feels the same. And then we have our girl with like the guy who's dying. They're like trying to make the most out of their time. He's getting sick. They're doing the most of their time. He's getting sick. And like this book is over 400 pages. I feel like it could have been 300 truly to get the point across. But yeah, we follow 5 people. The most interesting one to me is, I think it's Nick, maybe? Yeah, because he's the only other guy other than Christopher. It's funny it's Christopher and Nick. So Nick is the one who matched with a man, and his story is the most interesting because it's like he's really trying to figure out what the hell that could mean about him. And yeah, but it's feeling like a 2 as of right now. So Libby is not steering us in the right direction. But I have 3 hours left in the audiobook, so I'm going to play some Pokemon ZA. I don't know if they're saying Pokemon Z through A, because like on it it's Z-A, but that's what I've been calling it. I don't know if it's ZA or Z through A. It's kind of like the anime Hunter. Is it Hunter X Hunter? I don't know. I am just a girl, okay? But it is release weekend. It is kind of hard for me to focus. I was trying to listen to this yesterday when I started playing, but if you've played a Pokemon game, you know the whole like first, I don't know, like 3 hours of play is just like getting the story going before they like let you actually go do stuff. So I'm to the part where I'm like just doing stuff, kind of doing some grinding. So I think I'm gonna listen to some more of this, and I'll check back with you when I'm done. Also, I decided, because I've just been in a life slump. Whoa. I am going to, when I check Libby, if nothing looks good, I'm not forcing myself to pick something that's on there. You know what I mean? Because I don't have to own it, but because it keeps being like, I just look for fun sometimes, even though like you can only have one skip the line like out at a time. And like I just looked and there's like 9 books available. They're all self-help, economics, or political books. And I have no interest in any of that. So I'm gonna only be doing books that like actually interest me, and obviously this interests me. I own it. It's just not working out for me currently, but that's fine. It's so funny. In the front of the book is like an ad for the Match DNA website, but that's gonna be that, and I'll check in with you guys when we're done. I finished it, and I did give it 2 stars, and I just looked at the skip the line option, and it's literally all self-help or fantasy. So I'm gonna wait a bit. I have quite a few Libby holds that I need to get to, so it actually kind of works out. So just want to let you know, it's the type of book where I can see it working for a lot of people, and I understand why it has a 4 point something. But it was not for me. There was too many people, too many points of views, and I just like didn't care. So that's that. Okay guys, I picked my next book without you yesterday because I was at a new to me library. I didn't get a library card though because it was $35 for out of like it's in my state. It's literally the town next to mine, and $35 is wild behavior. But this came up on Skip the Line, and I didn't want to miss out on it. I'm not going to start it right now, but it is this like little fall book, If It Makes You Happy, by Julie Olivia. I've been hearing a lot of really good things about it, so I wanted to read it regardless, and I was really excited to see it on there because it's been like sold out in stores, very popular. So that will be the next book we read. Okay guys, we're about to start If It Makes You Happy by Julie Olivia, and this audiobook is almost 14 hours long. 13 hours 47 minutes in 3 times. I think it's like 4 hours something. Yeah, about 4.5 hours. And I'll definitely be working for that today. So I will check in when I'm about halfway to let you know what it's about. I think it's like based in the 90s. It's obviously autumnal, but I don't really know what the premise is. Have not read the synopsis. Should we? I tend to, or use somebody, I know like some people don't read synopsis, but like I feel like if I don't, part of it being that like I am an aphantasia girly, I feel like I can't really like get a grasp on what's going on. Oh, it's pretty short. So my new next door neighbor seems to have everything figured out. Small town golden boy, check. Single dad extraordinaire, check. Okay, I do enjoy me a single dad trope. Hot baker forearms, I didn't notice them. I swear. I, on the other hand, don't have anything figured out. Trust me. I didn't think taking over my mom's dream bed and breakfast in Copper Run, Vermont was going to be easy. It should be a good place to heal after my divorce, but apparently my scones belong in the garbage and my small talk skills, as pointed out by none other than Cliff. Cliff is inescapable. I know what people need. He knows people need always. His charm, the way he wears flannel, and even his pastries make me not want to be friends with Cliff and his daughter's pretty hard. Friends? I can make friends, that's safe. Except I'm leaving in 3 months to pass the in off to my little sister and get the promotion in Seattle I've been working towards. His name being Cliff is actually disturbing. That's potentially one of the worst names I've ever heard, but let's go. Okay guys, I'm about 40% into this book and I feel like if I don't come to you now with an update, I'm never gonna. Because I'm taking my lunch break right now, and so whenever I get back to work, I'm probably not gonna be focused on pausing to chat with you guys. But basically, this book does take place in the 90s and we have our main character, Michelle. She's the female main character in Cliff. It is dual point of view. And essentially, Michelle's mom unexpectedly died of a heart attack, which I will admit is borderline triggering because my mom also unexpectedly died of a heart attack at a pretty young age. So I'm not like super triggered by it, but at the time of filming this, I'm less than a month away from the 9-year anniversary of my mom passing away. So I'm already just kind of a little bit emo about it all. So that is definitely hitting me in great, like a gut punch, you know? So we've got that going on. So her mom and dad ran this B&B at this, like in this little town in Vermont. And her mom basically said that Michelle's sister, Sarah maybe? I can't remember off the top of my head. Is set to take over. And this has really like upset Michelle because she and her mom have kind of had a very strained relationship, a very difficult relationship her whole life. And it very much felt that like her mother favored her sister. And so seeing that her mom left the inn to the sister and like within the stuff is like instructions on how to do things is addressed to her sister. Like it was never a thought in her mom's mind for her to even be considered for this. And that is something that she's finding difficult and hurtful and quite upsetting, which understandable. So her sister's in college, so she decides she's going to go and take over until her sister gets out of school, and then her sister and her dad are going to move there and take over. She works in advertising, a very like corporate job, so she is not like one with the townsfolk. And she has her next door neighbor who is Cliff, and he has 2 young daughters. One of them is a teenager, and one of them, the teenager's name is Emily, I think, and then the littler one's name is Brittany. And he's struggling being a single dad kind of with his older daughter who he had as a teenager. She's a teenager now, dating, and their mom's not in the picture. She often misses their phone calls, and she very much so favors the younger child because she kind of projects onto her older daughter that she trapped her in this town with their dad, blah blah blah. So then we have our main girl, Michelle, and she's running this inn and having a horrible time in it, and she hates asking for help. So she's finally like admitted to defeat and came with her tail between her legs with her dog, who she and her dog have a bad relationship because the dog was the ex's dog because she was married and just went through a divorce. And this guy sucks that she was married to, Alan. But she and the dog go over and she basically asks Cliff for help. getting things going, making people like her, and he agrees, and she offers to watch Brittany after school for him so that he can stay later in the bakery, because he's a baker and he provides the baked goods for the bed and breakfast. And he reluctantly agrees, and so where we are now, it's just her kind of like building the relationship with his kids, with him, and running her little business, and trying to reconcile this not amazing relationship that she had with her mother while seeing how much this town loved her and how much energy and effort she put into this town when she didn't put that amount of energy into Michelle. It's kind of alluded to that her mom possibly suffered with postpartum depression or something to that effect, because they talk about her being in bed and being sad, and she eventually like went to therapy and got better, and they had her sister, and so they've always had a better relationship because her mom was in a better state whenever she had her sister, which is really sad. And it's really hard for her to see all of these people in the town like have all of these great relationships with a woman that she should have had that kind of relationship with and just didn't. It's also incredibly hard seeing how close she was to these girls, to Cliff's daughters, when she had her own daughter that she didn't pay much mind to when she was that age. And I have a feeling somewhere along the line she's gonna find, because right now she's like receiving all these birthday cards, and I feel like she's gonna somehow come across a card from her mother, like making amends for everything that happened almost. I feel like that's like gotta be like a plot beat in this book. Has not happened. I won't tell you if I'm right or wrong, but it's been really sweet so far. I love the kids, I love the guy, I'm really loving like the found family aspect of just like this whole town that's like trying to take Michelle in and be supportive of her, but also like she's terrible at baking. She's not asking for help. Like a big thing about going to a B&B as opposed to a hotel is like that one-on-one experience with the owner and the person running it. And whenever Cliff finds out that she's not having breakfast with the guests, he's like, hello, you gotta do that. And she's like, why? They just want to be left alone. I'd want to be left alone. And he's like, yeah, and you'd stay at a hotel. Get out there. Go be one with the people. So that's pretty much all that's happened. It's not that I feel like it's boring, but that's pretty much, we've just been getting to know Michelle and Cliff and the girls. I do think that it's bothering me that I haven't discussed what I'm having. I literally made chicken wing dip the other night, and I'm just heating some of that up for lunch because I'm an adult and I can make bad choices. So basically, she's just been going through it, and ooh, that was my Diet Coke. We're gonna have to put that back in the fridge and grab a different one. Oh, but yeah, it's a very long romance book, which I tend to enjoy because I do feel like you get a better sense of the characters and the town and whatever. Like Mariana Zapata, her books are all, the 3 that I've read have all been 5 out of 5. So I do love me a long romance. So I'm very excited about that. There has actually not really been any romance in this first 40%. It's like Cliff is very nice and he'll like say kind of like flirty remarks to her, like saying that she's beautiful and that he's like enamored by her, blah blah blah, and she thinks he's attractive, but neither of them, they're both like divorced. He's divorced with 2 children and she's newly divorced. He's been divorced for 2 years, and so they have not crossed any lines or even talked about crossing lines. So it's definitely slow burn, which is also one of my favorite tropes when it comes to romance. It's not currently giving me 5-star feelings, and I think that may come, especially if we get into more like heart-wrenching moments about her mother and things like that. I definitely could see it getting to maybe the 5-star range, but at the very least it's going to be a 4-star. And I'm really enjoying it. I think it's really, really good, but I like to watch YouTube while I eat, so I'm gonna watch some YouTube, eat my lunch, and then I'll get back to work and continue on with my book. Okay guys, I finished If It Makes You Happy, and I did land on it being a 4-star. I did really enjoy it. I loved that there was no love confessions until like 80% into the book. I did love the slow burn nature of it, but it was not as emotionally hard-hitting as I need to give a romance 5 stars. The romance books that I give 5 stars are the ones that are like kind of sad, and there's a lot of really big heartache in them, and they're just, I didn't cry. I did get close twice, but I did not have a moment of like, oh my god, about it. So due to that, I am going to give it 4 stars. I wonder if it's gonna be a series, because like her sister moved into the town at the end of the book, I think. Like there was kind of some sprinklings that made me think maybe it could be a series. If it is, I will definitely continue. It doesn't say that it is, so I guess we will see. But her other books by this author look like they are all series, so that does make me think that this will maybe become one, which could be really cute and fun. I'm going to take a break from this video because I have 3 Libby books that I need to get to in the next week, and also there's nothing piquing my interest. But if something comes up that I have to read, I will obviously check in with you guys. But we have 2 4 stars so far in this video, and 2 different genres, which is super fun. Okay guys, I just checked for funsies, and we have our final pick. Well Actually by Mazey Eddings. I actually almost bought this book yesterday, so that's so funny. But we are absolutely going to be borrowing that, and that will be the final book, and I'm so excited. I've read 2 Mazey Eddings books. The first book I read by her was Late Bloomer, and that was a 5 out of 5. It was so good. And then I read A Brush with Love, which I gave 4 stars. So I am very excited. I know this is like, the girl is the black cat, and he is like super sunshiny. He's golden retriever, black cat golden retriever. I think there's bi and pansexuality representation. She does like she's like a very inclusive writer. And yeah, I'm very, I just like saw on her feed, where is she? Like, it was like the covers of a quick guide to all of my books. Here it is. It's Hate to Love, Fakeish Dating, Second Chance, Black Cat, Golden Retriever, Mental Health, Rap, Workplace Romance, Bi, Pan, Rap, and He Falls First. And I'm very excited. I'm so hyped that that was an option. Oh my god. I'm excited. Okay guys, it's like 7 p.m. and we're about to leave for game night. This book is only 360 pages, so I don't know why the audiobook is like 12 hours, but I did pick up a copy today while I was at the indie bookstore, and I am about halfway through, and I'm absolutely loving this. So in this book, we've got our main girl, her name is Eva, and our main guy named Riley. And Eva works, she's been trying to like have like an up-and-coming journalism career, but instead she works for this company hosting this show called Sausage Talk, where they eat hot dogs and interview people. One night she's scrolling on social media and she sees a post from this guy Riley, who she had a thing with in college, and he kind of did her dirty, and he now runs this podcast where he talks about sex positivity and basically breaking down the barriers of toxic masculinity. And she basically calls him out and is like, yeah, well, like, you're bad at sex, you do this, you do that, like, you ghosted me. And she does this while she's drunk, and the next morning wakes up to it. It went viral, 700K views. He started following her, and her job is like, girl, they have a meeting and they're like, actually, this is good for us because it's getting your show more views. So now she has to do this sausage talk interview with Riley, and it's bringing up all of these things from the past in high school, and he kind of makes her agree to go on 6 dates with him to right his wrongs. And through this, we're finding out reasons why Riley treated Eva this way in school, and about we find out that he's bisexual and she's pansexual, and there's a lot of talk about that and how he acted out because of this a lot in college, because he was not out and he was trying to suppress himself, and it's a big reason he started his show. We have some trans characters, which is also amazing, but she has been confronting him and has basically just been like bullying him this whole time. In this part that I'm at, we find out that people are actually being really mean to Eva on the comments of this, because she's going on his show and talking about the dates and seeing if he can prove her wrong. And where I'm at right now, she's kind of being cyberbullied about it all, and I think they're about to maybe quit the show because he is not okay with the way she's being treated. But I am so far really liking this, and it's seeming like a 4-star. So we live, laugh, love to see it. And just like that, we are done with Well Actually by Mazey Eddings. This was so cute. I did end up giving this 4 stars. I will say that this book is significantly more spicy than both Late Bloomer and I just recently read this book by her, A Brush with Love. This one, a lot spicier. It's why I didn't get a 5. But this was really truly the most perfect blend of humor and romance, and if that's something that interests you, I highly recommend. Again, I kind of already explained it. I don't want to give too much away because you should read it. It was really, really good, and I love the cover of her new book that's going to be coming out. It looks really cute. Also, I like how the ending said the fucking end. Honestly, iconic. But this talks a lot about like toxic workplace environment, which I think most people have experienced, and it was very relatable. And then that was covered. There was like a little bit of like, I think a author's note in the beginning. Oh, I also have to tell you, I loved the dedication to all the hot girls, especially those that rise to the occasion when men needed to be taken down a notch. Iconic. But the author's notes were trigger warnings for internalized biphobia, workplace abuse, toxic masculinity, toxic masculinity, and internalized misogyny, grief after the loss of a loved one. There was a ton of talk about, you find out about like some sort of grief situation, and again, very relatable for somebody who's experienced a lot of grief, and I enjoyed it. So that means I gave this 2 stars. I thought I gave every book in this video a good rating, so I was gonna lie to you. We gave the one by John Mars 2 stars. This really was not for me. And then we gave this bad boy, Well Actually, 4 stars, and as well as this one, If It Makes You Happy, I also gave that 4 stars. So I think 2 4 stars and a 2 star. I'm not mad about that. It's always fun to be able to get the audios just like as a little surprise on the Skip the Line service, and it's definitely something that I love to continue to use from Libby. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!